Welcome to this thing called life.
So recently, Mike, I just found out there's this hashtag going around, very popular on Twitter. It's hashtag ruin a band name with one letter.
Holy shit.
And some of these I'm reading, and some of these are just hilarious. Like,
Fire away. Let's see.
so just so everybody knows, this is none of our opinions. This is other people's opinions. So don't get mad at us. This is other people's opinions on Twitter. One good one, Cream Theater instead of Dream Theater.
Jesus.
We have Green Gay.
Green Gate?
Green,
oh my god.
Green Gay. We also have Darth, Wind, and Fire. For you Star Wars fans out there, we got.
They always work Star Wars into everything.
Of course.
Fuck.
Yeasty Boys.
Oh Jesus.
There's a picture of bread under that one. There's also the Groots, if you will.
That's
the Groots.
That's oh god, that was too easy. Come on. That was lazy.
Age Against the Machine. And the Beagles. Oh, here's a good one. Ready? Nuns and Roses.
Oh god. Stupid. Where do people have the time for this shit? Who's sitting on their phone creating these horrible ideas?
Oh my gosh. There's also Taylor Swift.
Okay, that's all right.
How about the Backstreet Toys? All it takes is one letter, though. All it takes is one letter.
Fuck up the whole entire.
Rolling Scones.
Oh shit, that's horrible.
Oh, God.
These are bad.
Oh god, here's what good. This one's good. Fleetwood Map.
Oh no. No.
Oh man. Crowning Pool.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh, dude. These two... Here's another Guns N' Roses one. Guns and Moses. Instead of the RCM. Oh man.
This is horrible.
Oh man.
These are horrible. These people have too much time on their hands to create
dude.
these puns.
Oh my god. New Skids on the Block.
Oh god.
Oh. There's just
the Arctic Donkeys? That was my favorite, I think.
the Arctic Donkeys. You see this?
Yes. Oh Jesus.
It's labeled piss. Not
all
kiss.
right, that's the winner. That's it. Stop it. That's the winner. Piss.
No, wait.
Simply replace a K with a P.
Wait. 9-inch snails.
Absolutely horrible.
How about Afro Smith?
Oh, gee.
Oh my goodness. People do like this is the shit that's trending on Twitter right now.
Where do you guys get the time to create this stuff? That's what I want to know.
Hashtag ruin a band's name with one letter. Oh man.
I barely have time to create a podcast. You guys are sitting here messing up great bands. These are great bands.
I know.
And you're messing up their whole vibe with one letter.
Anyways, guys, welcome to episode 2. That's a good way to break the ice there for that one. I just saw that, and we just had to talk about it because it was pretty funny. But anyways, whew. Okay.
So what's up, man? What's the weather like?
It's rainy and cloudy today.
Rainy?
Rainy and cloudy. Yeah, it's definitely raining outside. Thank God it wasn't 20 degrees lower or colder because it'd be snowing and we'd be screwed. But yeah, it's cold and wet.
Okay. Yeah, we're about 37 degrees, and
it gets that cold down there in Texas?
Yeah.
I feel like Texas is always just burning hot for some reason.
Well, I mean, most of the time. And most of the time, it's over 100.
Yeah. Is it true that everything's bigger in Texas?
There's some big people down here.
Okay.
We eat a lot of food.
Yep. Yep.
And we are a big state. We drive big cars.
Yep.
We eat big plates of food.
Yep.
So yeah, I would say everything's bigger out here.
That's cool, I guess. You know, I feel like
it's all right if you're down with gluttony. It's super dope.
yeah.
It's my favorite sin, right? Gluttony. Just eat more food
Mm.
that you don't need.
Ah. Yeah, I hear you. So there was one other thing I was thinking would be cool if we did like one an episode, just one an episode, just to keep it rolling. And because I'm a big fan of dad jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's do a dad joke. That's
Dad jokes.
fine.
And you know, maybe we'll interchange it just to keep people entertained, I guess, because I find dad jokes
joke.
hilarious. And then you do one episode, I'll do one the next episode, and we
Alright,
can go back and forth. So, anyways, yeah. So I think that'd be something we should start. We can start that one next episode,
Yeah.
unless you got one off the top of your head right now.
I don't.
You got one in the chamber?
I'm not a huge joke. I'm not a joke teller.
I'm not.
I think you're probably more into like jokes,
Yeah.
like reading jokes and watching. Like I don't have like a network of people who are like, "Yo, let me tell you this joke, my friend." I don't have that. I don't know why. I work in a barbershop all day, so like our jokes are like usually perverted
Yep.
and not really like with punchlines. They're
Yep.
just like perverted situations. People come in and they tell us about some crazy shit that they went through. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
no.
patient confidentiality
It
jokes.
is.
You know?
It is absolutely. I know how the barber talk goes.
Yeah. What happens in the barbershop stays in the barbershop.
That's it.
I will never tell anyone about your genitalia problems or your, marital relationships or the fact that you're a cheap ass and you don't tip. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just kidding, but things we go through.
I know. I hear you. So, but anyways, now I mean, I don't I don't have any ready right now. I don't have anything locked and loaded right now. So, but maybe by the end of the episode I will. So, anyways, what do we got on tap today?
Well, sir, we have 3 topics. Today we're going to be talking about sensitive people in the world and how to handle them or us or they or whatever.
What's the
Then we
flavor of that
have-
one?
Yeah. Then we have family tips from dudes like us to dudes who are not like us,
Yep.
dudes who will soon be like us.
Because we're
And
living
then
it.
we have New Year's resolutions. Bullshit or no?
Ooh, dun dun dun. So,
Yeah.
which one would you like to start with?
Let's start with number 1, sensitive world. Because we talked about it in episode 1 a little bit about how you have to be careful walking eggshells around people now. And social media has made everyone has a voice now and everyone has an opinion now. And then your opinion can piss off a huge, small sect of people. But because everyone has a voice now, they can go, hey, you're an asshole.
Or it could piss off a huge amount of people, depending on how many followers you have.
Exactly. I think it's interesting because I'm being an Instagram influencer. I often have to think twice or 3 times about what I post.
Sure.
Sometimes I don't care. I'm like, fuck it. And I just post it. And I'm like, fuck sensitivity. I'm going to put it out there. And then every once in a while, maybe, once or twice a year, I put something out there and I get a message from like someone who's also an Instagram influencer. And they're looking out for me and they say, hey, Mike, that was kind of insensitive. You might want to take that down because, that may look bad for your brand, blah, 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 blah. And so sometimes I am like, there's logic behind what you're saying. And sometimes I'm like, you're being oversensitive. So there's a balance to that, I think, too. But what do you think, man? I think you said in episode 1, you feel like we are more sensitive now than ever before. Explain that.
No, it's just like, obviously I am a big social media guy. I post probably a pic of my kid every day on Instagram or on Facebook, whatever, I'm currently on there. I appreciate social media. I obviously for many reasons. One, my parents moved away. My parents live down in Virginia Beach now, and I'm still up here in New York. So to keep in touch with them, the family aspect of it, I guess, if you will, to keep in touch with friends and family through Facebook is great. Don't get me wrong, love it, But there's the other side of it where, you have these, these. I'm gonna take a word out of another podcast that I listen to, but where you have these, peasants just like behind the keyboard, just talking shit about something because they don't agree that, with whatever it may be, whether it be someone's comment, and then you have all these, stupid people just start commenting like, oh, well, you're a big, whatever asshole dick, like whatever words they want to use, probably worse than that, which I probably won't say on the podcast, but but it's just shit like that. And also, like you were saying too, is how people have a voice and people are becoming more sensitive now. So it's just, I just feel like because shit's out there now and people all over the world have access to it, that people are like, oh no, this isn't right, I'm going to talk about this. And then next thing you know, it blows up because one person was sensitive about something, and then next thing you know, everybody else is sensitive. Like, I was reading about the whole thing about how Santa Claus should be gender neutral. Did you hear about this? Did you see this?
Here's my response to that. Here's my response to that. Ready? Pretend I just scrolled and I just saw that on my feed. Here's my response to this. I don't give a fuck. I literally don't care. Like,
no, right.
I literally will not.
Right. Right.
That's the kind of shit that I don't care.
Right. I don't care too much for either. But there's someone out there that said this, and now it's this huge, stupid fucking thing. And it's like, first of all, there's a Mrs. Claus. Okay? So Santa's got to be a man, right? Unless I mean, he is Mr. Claus. He is Mr. Claus.
What if she's a cover-up and Santa always was porking the elves on the side?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he loves the elves, bro.
Maybe.
Some people like that midget stuff, dude.
Hey,
some people like.
Listen, it's 2019 now, and we don't judge. So if you're into midget stuff,
we don't judge. If Santa's down with that stuff, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm okay with the reindeer action. Like if him and Rudolph have a side thing going on, that's a little too far. I'm not a fan of bestiality, only because I think there's health concerns there.
So
I would leave the reindeer out of this.
Right. So like that was number one.
That's where I draw the line, David. That's where I draw the line.
So that was number one, right? Number two, second of all, the dude's not even fucking real. Let's be honest here. I'm sorry if your kids are listening, but
that's a given.
You like, so why are we giving this mythological? I don't know if that's the right word. I was homeschooled. Why are we given this thing that doesn't even exist a gender neutral like?
Or even the attention that we're giving him. I think this is the silliest thing in the world. It's the same in comic books, man. When they made Green Lantern gay, everyone tripped ass. And now we have a black Spider-Man, and people are, no one's complaining now. We got over that hump. But I think the reality is, if Santa's still going to be Santa, I don't give a shit if Santa is fictionally gay or if he loves whatever the fuck Santa does. I don't care as long as he's bringing gifts to my goddamn tree. That's all I care about. Santa should be Santa regardless. I don't need to worry about his gender. I never even thought even Santa had a wiener. I was like, Santa's just a fictitious character we use to bring gifts to our kids because it's fun and it brings the family together. If it brings the family together, then shit, right. I'm all for it.
Exactly. I agree. I agree.
I don't care what you put in your mouth. I care, what's in your heart. All right.
Yes.
That's right. I want a Merry Christmas. That's all I want. Merry.
A good old time.
I want a good old gay Christmas in the old fashioned sits.
There you go. I'm sure there'd be someone that'd be offended by that. You know what?
Whatever.
You go screw off.
Offended by I'm offended by that. Don't say those things.
No. Like, I just saw this whole thing. I just saw this meme actually on Facebook, and it said, you know how old people are offended, or how old people think it's a waste of time spending money on tattoos and putting tattoos on your arm. And it was like,
I saw this.
Yeah, and it's like, well, guess what? Whatever the fuck her name is. Guess what, Tracy? Those dishes that have been sitting in there that you never take out, that are expensive, and you only use like once a year. Like, that's a waste of money too. And it's like, yeah, you
got China sitting in there. You don't even use it.
Right. And it's true. Man, I could totally go off on the whole tattoo thing right now in so many different directions about how sensitive people are and how everyone has their own voice
I can't
about
believe
it.
people are sensitive about tattoos still. Like I
Dude.
mean, I live in Texas, right? It's a very Republican, strong, conservative area, and some of the old school parenting is still going on over here, where like kids get piercings and their parents trip shit, like an ear piercing or a tattoo, and they tell me like my parents were like, no, I don't, don't do that. That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what do you mean it's bad? It's 2019 now. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought human race has gone farther than this. I thought we've overcome some of these things, like, in our lives. Apparently, we have not. And so I guess to take this a step further is with these sensitive people. How do we handle that? How do we see it? How do we handle it when people try to make us feel bad about something we said or done that really we know at the end of the day isn't truly offensive in any real sense. It's a superficial, you know, it's a superficial kind of like response they have, like, oh, well, that's offensive. Well, you're just trying to sound empathetic right now is what you're trying to do.
Right.
So like, how do we handle someone like that without trying to stir up more negativity and drama? Because that's the thing is, as soon as you respond to someone who's super sensitive, now you have a battle. I don't know if you've seen these Facebook comments, someone posts something controversial, people get sensitive. Now you have graphic novels. People have like gifts and freaking they've got comments and comments, and now you have this sheet and you're just sitting there reading it like, I'm wasting my fucking time reading this shit. But it's all because of sensitivity. And honestly, man, like that's the thing is like, how do you handle something like that? Like, how do you get over that? Because to me, that's basic. Because I've been in social media for so long now that it's basic for me to ignore this stuff. But for someone who maybe has more time on their hands and maybe they like to scroll through Facebook and Instagram and maybe they like to look at videos and stuff, and they find themselves feeling a little sensitive sometimes, what is something or how do we counter that?
That's a good question.
Because my answer is easy. My answer is don't give it any energy. I'm a huge component of don't give time and energy to things that don't add to you. So if it's making you feel some type of way, even if it's and you can't explain it, even if it's negative, just ignore it. Leave it alone. Don't try to be the justice warrior and try to defend every point of view, because you'll never fucking win that battle. No one wins that battle.
No, and I mean, me personally, I've always been like, my mindset has always been, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's been my mindset. And it's been my mindset for a very long time. That's why I would bleach my hair. That's why I would, do this. That's why I wear an adult onesie. I don't give a shit what people think about me. People are going to talk shit about my onesie all day long. I don't care what you think. I don't care what this person thinks, and I mean, that's just me personally. But for, like you said, people that scroll through and then next thing you know, they're like, oh, this doesn't make me feel good, and then they get sensitive about it.
We all have triggers. So like someone could say something specifically that triggers us, and maybe we're not sensitive people in general, but as soon as they hit that one little button that you hold dear to your heart, then you're offended. So like, it's one of those things that you've got to constantly be aware of your emotions of, like, when you're using social media. I think we said it in episode 1, with great power comes great responsibility. When you're handling social media, it's very powerful. But you also have to be responsible and aware of how you feel when you're, looking through all this crazy shit.
I agree 100%. And that's why I believe, the world is so sensitive now, is because of social media. Because you get people like that see this kind of shit, and then next thing you know, they go off on a tantrum. It goes viral, and now radio stations can't play "Baby It's Cold Outside."
What I mean? Crazy. Like, I see older people like in their 60s getting offended. Like, and that when they were our age, they weren't offended by shit because they didn't have social media.
Right.
They had to dial a rotary fucking phone to call people, and the only conversation they had was either with their families or their neighbors. So that social media is affecting people, because you got 60-year-olds out here talking about their religious or political point of views and talking shit, like serious shit. Like, you're 60 and you're on your iPhone and you're talking shit. Like, look at yourself. You're 60. You're on your way out. You got a couple more decades left, and what you want to do with your time is fucking try to like convince people they're wrong politically, or
Right?
that, you know what I mean? Like, get your sensitivity out of there, man. Put your phone down, bro. Like, you become a victim, man. Even at 60 years old, you're becoming a victim to this crisis of social media. Like, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah,
It's
like
crazy. I see it. Like, I see it. Like, even my relatives get involved, and I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on here?
no, and I mean like it's also a thing for me too because I'm constantly out there delivering packages during the holidays, during Christmas, and when I deliver packages to people and, during that time of the year, I usually say, oh, as I'm like leaving, I say, oh, happy holidays. And I use that because I don't know if this person is Jewish. I don't know if this person is,
You're being considerate.
like what their beliefs are. So I don't want to offend them by saying, "Oh, Merry Christmas," because I'd be like, "I don't believe in that." You know what I mean? I don't even want to deal with that because one, they're my customers, so I want them to enjoy me because I'm going to be the guy that's going to be bringing them packages for the next like 25 years. Yeah. So it's like, the whole sensitive side of that is you got to watch what you say too, and like you were saying, there's people online now that just completely go off, and 60-year-old people and all this stuff. But that just made me think about that.
Absolutely. I think being considerate is awesome. That's something we lost in the world too.
Mm-hmm.
Consideration it actually makes you very valuable in today's society, but that's probably another talk for another time.
Interesting.
But yeah, so yeah, man, I guess that's a good cap on sensitivity. So
Yeah,
basically, to handle it, either don't give it time or energy, and
right,
and realize that we're all sensitive,
and
that we
and
gotta
listen,
guard that.
I can't even tell you how many people I unfollow on Facebook because I'm like, dude, I do not want to see your political bullshit. I do not want to. I don't want to hear about Trump all the time, even though he's our president. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for, but like I don't want to see that. I don't want to see your sensitive ass all over my Facebook
All
page.
butthurt
Like
all the time.
so many people, dude, I have unfollowed because all they do is talk political nonsense and
Too much
whatever it
negativity.
may be. And exactly. And you just got to eliminate that negativity from your life. If you eliminate that negativity from your life, you're going to live a better life. That's what this podcast is
Absolutely.
about, this thing called life. So let's go.
Hell yeah! All right, so number two, man. Number two, family tips. This is kind of cool because we're both dads.
Mm-hmm.
Both
New.
have a family. We're both
I
in
guess.
our 30s.
How old is your son, if you don't mind?
My son will be 11 in January.
Okay,
January 11th, I'm sorry.
so you've been a dad for 11 years now.
Oh shit!
That's as long as me and Danielle's been together. 11 years. We've been together
Really?
for 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but anyways, and I've only been a dad for 4 months, almost 4 months now.
But you're a dad though.
I am.
And you're married. I think being married is a huge thing, and then being a dad is a huge thing.
Yep.
It's like graduating classes. You're not going to fully understand human beings until you have kids. When you have kids, things change a lot for you. You start looking at human beings way differently.
Oh, dude.
And also being married for a long time, being in the same house with the same woman for a long time will also teach you a lot about the other sex.
Yeah,
and also
listen, I
a lot about life.
have something I want to touch on that too, real quick. So there was I ended up getting a whole lot of feud from a bunch of people. I started getting a whole lot of nonsense because I ended up moving in with my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time. I ended up moving in with her even before we were married. And
How dare you?
Right? I'm such
You're
a
from a religious background too, correct?
Yes. I am such a bad person now. I have done this. I have gone out of the, So it's like I got so much shit from people about.
They call that living in sin. Isn't that what they call that at church? Living in sin.
Sure.
When you're with your
Right. Exactly. I'm living in sin. Does it say anywhere in the Bible that you're not allowed to move in with someone the opposite of sex before marriage? Like, does it ever I don't know personally. I honestly don't think it does. I know it says about, marriage or whatever. But anyways, I started getting a lot of shit about this. And, but I, since the views have changed, and we talked about this in the beginning of episode 1 about how, the way we see the world now, and we're all grown up later on than when we first met, obviously, our views have changed on things. And that's one of them for me personally is, I believe you're not going to know how a your significant other is until you move in with them. Like, and it's not the old days anymore where, divorce rates were down and all this stuff. And like, all it was about family. Like how we mentioned again, going back to how we mentioned that before, was like, that was the whole American dream back then, and our ancestors and our great grandfather, people that came to the world, like that was the American dream, have a family to do this, so everyone got along great. Now everyone's fucking nuts and psycho. And you're not going to know how the significant person really is until you move in with them. That's what I believe. I learned a lot. Let me tell you, I learned a lot about my wife when I first moved in with her, when we were still dating. And there was a lot, I was like, oh shit, like this is like, you're a bit extreme on certain things, but I respect that obviously. And, but it's like, I got so much shit about it because I moved in with her before we were married. And it's like, if I knew that shit after we were married, like, what if that was a cause for a divorce to happen between us,
Yeah, like you didn't want any surprises. Like you get married, all of a sudden you're surprised by some type of behavior or something that she does, and you're like, "What is this? I didn't see this coming." You know.
And I believe that's why divorce rates are up now.
It could be one reason. I also think sometimes, bro, like going back to your point is, back in the day, I think that things were a little bit more simple. People were a little bit more simple.
Totally.
And dating and being with someone for a long period of time, you can kind of get a gist of what they feel like because you're with them all the time. As soon as you start dating someone, you want to be with them all the time.
Oh yeah.
And back in the day, you didn't have as many distractions with your phones and social media, so you didn't know if there was like a secret second life they were living.
Right.
Because back in the day, it would be really hard to hide a secret life. Like
totally.
It'd be super hard. But now you've got Tinder and you've got little scandalous motherfuckers running through the messages and DMs and shit, and people are going to be scumbags when they have the opportunity to be. So yeah, I can understand that you wanted to move in with her because of the situation that we're living in today as compared to 20 years ago. Times do change. They do change.
Exactly. And that's the thing that drives me crazy is those people that are stuck in the old times. Those people that are stuck in old times, there's still people that judge you because you have tattoos, because you dye your hair, because of certain, because of a certain haircut. I'm sure you can relate to that being a barber, I'm sure people judge some of these people, and it's like, that's the shit that drives me up a wall, dude. Like, that's the shit that drives me up a wall. It's like, oh, because I got a tattoo now, I'm not going to be accepted at a certain place,
Close-minded.
Dude,
Close-minded.
It is totally. And like,
so let's tie this with family then. Let's go back to what you said about your wife and how you guys moved in, because when it comes to family, I think that my biggest tip I can give any young man that's about to get married or have a kid or whatever is that no one's ever truly ready for anything in life. That's how you learn. You learn by just trying it, saying, oh, well, I fucked up or I did great, and then what can I do better? But when you first get a family, you first get married, first have a kid, the one thing you have to realize is you need to not give a shit about anyone else's opinion. I don't care what your parents think. I don't care what your auntie thinks. I don't care what your grandma thinks. Because the moment you're going to give your life to this other woman or give your life to have a kid, because you are giving your life, you're giving your time and your energy to another human being. When you do that, you no longer have time and energy to give to the thoughts and opinions of your mom anymore. You are now becoming your own entity. When you become your own entity, now you can create your own rules, create your own guidelines. You can reformulate the way you see your world with that person. And the biggest thing I see with married couples and young people who get married or even raise kids is that they let grandma's opinion and mom and dad's opinion or sister's opinion dictate their choices and how they raise their kid, how they treat their wife. And to be honest, that is step one in failure. You're going to fuck up for sure doing that.
Oh yeah, totally. Because now you're not going to be happy because you didn't make your own decision that you wanted to make. And because now someone else is telling you how to do something, you're not going to be happy living with that. You're not going to be happy living with that decision. And then that can cause problems in marriage. That can cause problems everywhere else because now this person's upset, this person's down about whatever, and then, they start arguing about shit, and then it just all explodes in your face. Like, it's like...
Yeah. What's crazy about it is, here's an example, right? You have say it's, say it's 1960 and you're a white dude and like I'm married to a Mexican woman, right? But say you're a white dude and you want to marry a black girl, but it's not culturally acceptable, and your parents are racist and they don't care. They're like, no, you can't date black people, but you want to, so you do it fucking anyway. Just like the movie The Bronx Tale, right, with
Mm-hmm.
Robert De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
He dates the black girl anyway, right? But look, it's not culturally acceptable. Your parents don't like it. No one likes it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But you break the rules and you do it anyway. But what the fuck happens to us once we get married, or after a while, those opinions wear on us, and then all of a sudden we're making decisions based off of their opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, we still wanted the dater. So I guess what I see is like, be true to yourself all the time, and not just kind of, because
Right.
that puts you in a strange place of a push and pull. And I always tell people that you need to cut yourself off from those people, even your parents, even whatever. Take time away, cut them out. Whoever the negative influence is in your life, in your family, in your relationships, cut them out.
Right.
With women, I typically see it with their friends.
Right.
Women
And-
have friends that are
And
horrible for them.
right.
Like, absolutely horrible.
And let me just chime in. So now, obviously you're saying, if your parents are negative in that time of your life, cut them out. That doesn't mean
Yes.
stop loving them. I just want to chime that in for the listeners. Obviously that
Absolutely.
doesn't mean stop loving them. They're always going to be your mom and dad. They're
Absolutely.
always going to be your parents. You're always going to love them. But, just take time and, like you said, just step away. I'm sorry. I just wanted to chime in there,
Absolutely, man. Because you know what? Here's the thing: is love has nothing to do with protecting your boundaries.
Mhm.
We all have boundaries that we create, walls that we need to create, and let people know, like, all right, this is where you're drawing the line. This is my wife, and I love in movies whenever dudes get upset about someone offending their wife. This is my wife. I love that. So you have to draw your line. This is my wife, and then this is my family. This is where I draw my lines. And you cross that line, now you need to go. I need to cut you out. And in time, when you're ready to come back, I'll let you back into my life.
That's it.
Doesn't mean I
When
don't
you've
love you.
healed
Doesn't mean
everything.
I don't
Yeah.
accept you. It's just, this is what it is right now. I need to have my space,
Yeah.
my place to do. And when you do get married, young guys, here's another tip: create your own culture in the home. When I say your own culture, I mean create your own habits, your own traditions. Don't follow the traditions of your parents just because they did it that way.
Right.
Ask your wife what her parents did. Maybe you pick some things from her family, pick some things from your family, or create brand new ideas,
Mm-hmm.
because brand new creativity is going to really enhance a relationship. So
totally.
that's another tip. Is just create your own culture, create your own traditions, create your own way of living under that roof with her. That's something that I take pride in with my son and my wife, is that in my family, we like to do weird shit that a lot of people don't do. Like, for instance, I wasn't raised to watch scary movies, and especially at a young age. And my son's only 10, but we still watch scary movies and crazy violent films, and we don't give a flying fuck, bro, because that's just what we like.
All right.
It's our culture. We
Totally.
like it, bro. Like, we're fans of it,
Yeah,
But
I feel like my kid's gonna be raised up watching Family Guy. I'm a big Family Guy fan. You know what I mean? So it's like we're probably,
yeah.
and that's not acceptable according to certain,
Parenting protocols.
society,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
But I totally understand. I totally agree. And also, I also want to say too is the whole thing about cutting people out too. It's like, even but cutting them out but still loving them is obviously a big, there's a threshold there, and you don't want to cross the one end and then stop loving, whether it be your parent, whether it be your child, it's like I obviously can't deal with this right now because it hasn't happened to me, but there's parents where their kid either comes out gay or says I want to be a woman, I want to be a man now, and there could be, I'm sure it's happened, a lot of negativity that's come from their parents, when they go to the only source that they trust because it's their parents and they feel comfortable about it, and the next thing you know, your parents are like, no, you are not, and that negativity happens. But because of the way this person really feels, it's, how can you as a parent, I guess, accept that fact? And and you have to. There's no other way to do it. They have, your child has their own life when they come out doing this, but you still got to love them either way from a parent's aspect.
absolutely.
You still got to be there to support them, everything.
Yeah, my son is going to be 11, and he's already developing his own ideas, his own opinions. And I feel like I've done a really good job. If I can brag about myself and my wife, I think we've done a really
Go
good
ahead.
job raising him because he's a stand up dude. My son is a stand up dude. I love hanging with him. I just like he's someone you could just chill with. He's great. But I think as a parent, you hope for the best for your kid. But I also think the one thing I learned when I was a kid is that you do need to accept them no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even before situations like that come up where it's like, well, why are you choosing this route? Why don't you go this route instead? I think that you have to allow them to have space to be who they are,
Mm-hmm.
because I understand the idea of boundaries and boundaries and those principles that come with it. I think I already know that with my son, I'm going to have to let him choose what he wants to do. For instance, he's not involved in sports, but I played sports. I love basketball, football. I even skateboard. My son has zero interest in sports right now, but I don't beat him up about it, and I don't try to push him into it.
Right.
I give him his space, and I ask him questions. And I just get his mind going a little bit, so that when a day comes, if a day comes where he wants to do it, I'll be there like, all right, what route do you want to take? Instead of going, oh no, don't do that. That's bad. You should do this. You should try that instead.
Right.
And I feel like parents got to be careful about how much control, how much influence, and how much manipulation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we do it subconsciously.
Right. And that happens a lot nowadays too, where parents like, you are not doing this. You see it in movies, obviously, but movies are fake. But I mean, that shit happens in the real world though,
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And you feel like for instance, I grew up a pastor's kid, and I thought for a while I was gonna be a pastor too, because when you're young, everyone and their mom tells you what? You're gonna be a pastor.
Yeah.
Because your dad's a pastor.
You want to
It's
be
a
like your
family
dad.
trait. And I grew up to be just a barber, and I got a potty mouth. So, but it's true to me. I'm being true to me, and
Right.
and it's funny because at first I think my parents probably had a hard time accepting certain things that I was into: tattoos, piercings.
Yep, same here, I'm sure.
Drinking alcohol, just acting like a straight up fool sometimes. But do they love me? Yes. And are they proud of me now today? Absolutely. I can say 100% that they're proud of me today. And that's, I guess, where I want to come at the back end and say, when you do say, fuck what my parents think, love them through it. And then in time, as you do you, in time, I promise you they'll be proud of you. And I promise you that they'll come back around and they'll tell you, I'm so proud of you and your accomplishments. I'm so glad you did what you wanted to do and doing what you love. Because doing what you love and marrying who you love and living your life the way you want to live it is the ultimate blessing a parent can receive from their kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that a lot of people don't tell you, So I think those two tips right there. We need one more tip.
One more tip. Just a tip.
This is good content, even though we're all over the place. It's good content because people don't talk like this about families. And I know a lot of young guys look up to me, and I think I get a lot of messages from them. And this is something that I can't really explain in the barber world because I feel like I have to keep everything barber oriented.
Yeah.
But these principles are true no matter what industry, what level of life you're in,
It's
no matter
life.
what career you're in.
It's life.
Yeah,
it's
life.
what everybody deals with at one time in their life. But
also, I guess the third tip, if I had to give one, would be to keep an open mind. I guess you had touched on that too. Is like, acceptance and an open mind about what's changing in the world, because your son or daughter is gonna want to play Fortnite for like 12 hours a day, and you have to realize that you did the same shit with Halo.
Oh yeah,
you played Call of Duty too. You played Tecmo Bowl, Super Bowl. You played Tony Hawk. You played those games for hours and hours.
I played Mario, bro. Mario for hours.
Your parents thought that kid's brain is rotting. But you know what? Guess what? Science has proven that video games help parts of the brain with their creativity.
Oh yeah.
And creativity is more important now than it used to be ever.
Right.
So if you think about it, video games are great. Now, should you also exercise? Yes. Should you also, go out in the real world, make real friends? Absolutely. That should totally be encouraged. But don't for a minute think that your kid's going to rot the shit because he's playing Fortnite.
Right.
It's not.
I agree.
We were all the same, bro. We were all the same. So keep an open mind. Realize that, times change.
Yeah.
Your kid might want to get tattoos on his butt, or maybe he wants to implant a chip into his hand that's going to allow him to buy groceries at the store faster, or implant contact lens that has Google on it or something, some crazy shit that we haven't even thought of yet. Don't be closed-minded. Shit's going to change, man. Like your kid is going to be the pioneer of the future, and you're going to be okay with that.
It is. And then there's also the thing out there too, where it's like, don't judge a person because they have tattoos. Don't judge a person because they have piercings, because that could be the person that can save your life one day. That person may
Yeah,
know
or be
CPR.
your
That person may know. Yeah, exactly. It's like all that stuff. It's like,
or be your niece or be your like it could be a family member all of a sudden.
right.
Like for instance, going back to the Bronx Tale, your parents might be racist, but then you marry a black girl and now she's your daughter-in-law. Well,
Mm-hmm.
now what are you gonna do? You gonna
Mm-hmm.
be a bitch your whole life to her? Nah.
No.
You can be a racist little shit. Fuck that. Eventually, human beings, are gonna be human beings, and we're all gonna end up loving each other, and that's
That's it.
exactly what happens.
That's it. And
So,
that's what the world needs more of.
yep.
All you
Cut the
need
shit
is
out. Cut all the shit out
love.
and just be human. I think that's the hardest thing. And at
Yep.
the end of the day, when you're a family man and you realize that your family is the most important part of you and thing of you, it seeps into other areas of your life. You're going to work harder at work. You're going to look at things with a different perspective than you ever
Mm-hmm.
had before. Um, it's weird. When I got married, man, and I started really paying attention to my wife and like how women are, how they're different, how they act, how they move, their vibe, like everything about a woman is so beautiful and elegant,
Mm-hmm.
and yet confusing and puzzling, and there's so much wonder to it. But it helps you respect women as a whole. Now, when I see women at work or when I'm out and about and I see them, and you see, before I just saw a bitchy face. Oh, that woman has resting bitch face, but you don't know if she's going through some crazy women things.
You're
You
right.
don't know what's going on. There could be a plethora of things that are wrong with a woman,
Right.
and you don't know because you don't have the perspective. But now you get married, you see how they live, and then you're going, oh, I will put the toilet seat down now.
Right.
I will aim better.
Bottom line,
you
stop
you
judging
know?
people. That's
Yeah.
that's totally what it comes down to. But yeah, dude, I totally hear you. And
I went ape shit on that topic. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay, bro. No, it's good. That was good convo. Good convo. Convo. What the hell's a convo? It was good.
It's
That was a good
conversation with
convo.
information involved. Yeah.
There you go. Uh,
Confo.
um, I'm just gonna say the shit that no one else tells you is when you have a kid, uh, you know, uh, it's gonna be rough. That's what no one tells you is it's gonna be hard. That is for sure. Let me tell you, the patience you gotta have, the patience you will learn, the patience that you will learn to adapt to is it's gonna grow tremendously. And because everyone says, "Oh, having a kid is so great. It's so butterflies and rainbows and unicorns or whatever." If you believe in that stuff. But
When they're not
it's
crying,
it's
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 great.
it's hard. It's totally hard. That is for sure. And it's gonna be a hard time in your life. But it also the smiles that the kid or the baby has when you see the kid smile when they look at you is it's all worth it for sure. All worth it
It
for sure.
literally erases all the lack of
It
sleep that
does.
you had the night before.
Yeah. And I experienced that last night. So I'm on lack of sleep.
It's so crazy that like human life is so beautiful and so hard.
Hmm.
And there's a bigger lesson here, of course, is that there's beauty in the pain, there's beauty in the struggle.
Yeah,
And that goes through all of your life. Anything worth having is painful, man. Anything worth having. And I used to
totally.
be the guy who didn't want kids. And I used to be the guy who, even after my first kid, again, he's 11. Now I have 2 months, a 2-month baby. So I waited 10 years to get busy again to make another kid because I really didn't want another kid.
Right.
But like you're saying, patience, it increases your patience, it increases your critical thinking, actually
Totally.
increases your compassion for humanity. You start looking at human beings with more compassion because we were all babies. Even fucking Hitler was a little baby at one time. I don't know
Hmm.
who fucked with him, but uh, even he was a baby at one time. So if you think about it, it increases everything. Is it stressful? Is it hard? Yeah, you're gonna lose sleep. But guess what, guys? I'm gonna tell you this great. I always like bringing analytics into everything, right? Because
I'm
my
a
brain is.
huge fan of
I love that,
analytics.
But
But go
check
ahead.
this out. For thousands of years, even the dumbest motherfuckers have been making babies. Let that sink in. So if you're worried and you just found out your girlfriend's pregnant, John, Bill, whatever your fucking name is, Guy, Rick, if you just found out your girl's gonna have a baby, don't fucking freak out, bro. People have been having babies for thousands and thousands of years, and they've been way dumber and stupider than you, with probably less money and less know-how. But people still make it work. Why? Because that's what fucking human beings do.
That's it.
That's what we've been doing for thousands of years. What makes you think that you're gonna fail? What makes you think that you're gonna be a shitty father? That's a part of life. No one's ever ready. No one's ever ready to have a kid. No one's ever ready to get married. There's no magical income number that says, okay, I made enough money, I'll get married now. Or, okay, I made enough progress in my relationship with my girl that I can have a baby now. Life is messy, man. Life is rough. This is what fucking happens.
Exactly.
Is it scary? Of course, but you can do it. Everyone can do it. Anyone can do it.
Yeah, just push yourself outside that box. That's all you got to do. Step outside of it. But
you can do it.
Anyways, you want to move on to the third one?
Yeah, let's go.
We got New Year's resolutions, bullshit or no.
I'll let you start this one, man. Did you make a New Year's resolution, bro?
Nope.
Why? Talk about it.
I don't know. It's did I make a New Year's resolution? No. Because we all know those people that go to the gym and then they cancel their gym membership like a week later. This sounds like a great idea, and then they go do it like, nope.
Talking about me like that. No, I'm just kidding.
For you to go to your gym, all you gotta do is go to your garage. But
that's true. No, I do have a gym membership too. Gold's Gym, represent Gold's. I love you guys. Gold's Gym in El Paso, Tierra Este.
Come sponsor us.
Zaragoza. Yeah, I love you, Gold's Gym. So if you're listening from Gold's Gym, I love you guys. You're the best.
No, it's I guess it depends on the person. To be honest, actually, I guess it depends on the person. Some people have more drive. Some people are more driven to actually succeed when it comes to certain things. And hey, more.
Yeah, but how does New Year's resolution? How does a New Year's resolution help you get there to that place? Why is it that magical date?
Well, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
All of a sudden, is there a magical date that this is where we change?
Why is that? That is,
That's my question. That's what the question is. New Year's, bullshit or no? Is there really a magical date where we go, okay, I'm gonna change now. This is a great time to change. I've thought about it, and January 1st, fucking beautiful time to change. Let's do that. Let's start with the 1st, not the 2nd, not the 3rd, not December 31st. Let's just go with January 1st. Why do we decide? Who decided that a new year is a great time to start a new you?
You want to know? Because I have it pulled up right here in front of me.
Pull it up, read it.
So this is what we got. All right, the New Year's resolutions originated. It was religious origins. The Babylonians made promises to their gods at the start of each year that they would return borrowed objects and pay their debts. So it started way back in like the Roman time.
So it was more about debt than anything else? And now it's become about fitness?
Which puts you in debt.
Gotta get new shoes, new membership.
I'm gonna buy the NordicTrack 2460.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy those new Dwayne Johnson shoes. I'm gonna get those Under Armour shoes.
Like, why isn't it like a resolution where it's like, this year I'm gonna be more understanding of people.
That's the problem with America, is that we want more of everything. We're like, I'm gonna be more understanding. I'm gonna be more of an athlete. I'm gonna be more fit. But what we should be saying is like, I gotta stop and eat less food. And do less bullshit.
Yep.
We gotta do less shit, not more shit. You want abs? Stop fucking eating, bro. You're not gonna die. I swear to God. Dude, I hate when people try to. Well, you need to eat more. No. You want to be fit? Stop fucking eating so much. It's simple. Do you want to get out of debt? Stop fucking buying dumb shit.
Yeah, totally.
It's not that you need more. Oh, I need more of this. I need more of that. No, you don't. You need less. We have so much more already. How much more do we need?
Right? Well,
I mean, I say that, but I have like 30 pairs of shoes in my closet. For a dude, that's probably a lot. But
well, I have a shit ton of hats. Just saying.
Yeah, I have a dad hat problem. Like all these
dad hat problem?
hats are here. I've had so many dad hats. I have dad hats for days, bro.
Is that a Volcom hat?
Days. Huh?
I said, is that a Volcom?
No. This is a barber. It's called Barber Society.
Nice.
And they're out of I think they're out of LA or something.
Nice.
But sometimes
I see. It
cool
kind of looked like the V. I was like, what is that? It's a blade. I got you.
I'm given shirts and hats a lot from different barber companies that have like their own little like fashion, merch. So I get a lot of free shit. So I rep it. You'll see me rep it on the podcast if we do videos. You'll see me wear a lot of different hats and shit. I have my own too.
Yeah, which is totally fine,
I'll send you a hat, Dave. You don't have to ask.
Oh, word?
I'll get you one.
Oh, my man. I don't have anything to give you in return.
That's all right. You just send me your love and positive vibes. That's all I need.
That's
Trust
right.
me, I need more support and love and positivity than I need stuff. Trust me. I appreciate that. I appreciate a good friend over anything else in life. I appreciate good people. I've learned to really appreciate human beings. So New Year's Eve, anyway, I think, this is my opinion. I've thought about this. I talk about it in the barbershop all the time. The magical day, January 1st, is utter horseshit to me because if you really want to change, you're going to change. And I say that because of this. There's a theory out there, and I believe it's probably a part of psychology, is that when the pain of remaining the same is greater than the pain of change, that's when you'll change. So what I'm saying is when the pain of being, say you're really obese or you're fucked up mentally and you haven't dealt with your issues, whatever the case may be, whatever your particular case is, when the pain of that is so high at a high level where you feel you can't take it anymore, that's usually normally when change starts to happen because the threshold is too high. You can't take it. I got to do something. Like one day you wake up and you see a picture of yourself and you're like, God damn, I'm fat. And it's so embarrassing and so heart-wrenching for you to look at yourself in the mirror, that photo, that you go, I'm going to the gym. You don't wait till January 1st. You literally, it starts a fire in you right then and there and you change. That's exactly what happened to me. I was getting pretty chubby when I was around 19, 20 when I moved to Texas. And I saw a picture of me and I was like, what the fuck is that? And as soon as that happened to me, ever since then, I was never out of shape. Never. Because I refused. I didn't wait till January 1st. I did it right then and there. And I think that's how people are. If you are a person who struggles with addiction and it gets to a point where you've lost all your friendships, you lost your home, or you're at rock bottom and that pain is so high, that's when you'll make the change. Maybe I need to go, hey, maybe I need to. And that's when you'll start making changes. You don't make changes until the pain is stupid high. And we all have our own level of pain tolerance.
Yeah.
So that's why I think New Year's is bullshit. Because the whole idea of a new year, new you doesn't come until the pain comes. So how do we know the pain is going to come December 31st? Probably not, because December 31st is a great time to drink lots of alcohol and eat a lot of food.
And have good times
with
good
time.
friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're not thinking, oh my God, I'm in pain. That's the last thing you're fucking thinking. You're just trending. You're trying to be trendy on January 1st. New year, new me, Gold's Gym.
Right.
Let me hit the treadmill.
Right. And I think that's like you said, our problem with society is that's the way people think about it. That's the way we're programmed, is to think about it that way. And that's why this shit happens. Yeah. But
we are.
So you call bullshit.
I call bullshit on it.
Yeah, me too.
It's bullshit.
Me too. That's why I don't think I've ever made one. I've never ever have made a New Year's resolution, and I just don't give a shit for it, I guess. But
I think I've never met anyone that was like, man, John, how'd you get in shape so well? He's like, you know what, bro? Started on January 1st. Started pumping iron January 1st, and now I'm fucking ripped. Like, that shit never happens. When have you ever heard someone say, like, I started this work plan January 1st, and his whole year's gone by, he's just stick to it, and he's just like ripped as shit?
Never has happened.
Never heard that story in my life.
Never has happened. But anyways, I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I'm going to end it on this note, unless you have anything else.
What note? I got to find out what your note is. What about on top of it?
The note is the dad joke of the week.
Oh, God. Go ahead.
The dad joke of the week. You ready? What do you call a sketchy Italian neighborhood? The Spaghetto. Boom. That was good, right? All right. We'll see you guys next week. No? All right. Maybe you can come back with one next week. Okay. Well,
I'm going to top that.
Well, okay. All right. Hey, you heard it here first, guys.
That's my dad. My dad's probably got better jokes than that. My dad's like that dude who like tells jokes with his friends.
Oh, yeah.
He's a part of that old society.
Yeah, same here. Yo, we should, maybe have our dads on. Have our dads on.
Hilarious. It'd be hilarious.
totally have a dad's episode. And then
Generations of fathers.
and then they could talk about us and embarrass the shit out of us, but
Yeah, they could embarrass it. He could embarrass the shit out of
totally. But anyways, guys, don't forget to follow us on the social media, on all your guys' social media. You guys can follow the podcast on Twitter at TTCL Pod. Again, that's TTCL Pod. And then
Yes, please send us some suggestions on topics as well. If you
Yeah.
guys want to hear us talk about something particular,
totally send us
let
a
us know
question
there at Twitter.
if you have any questions about anything. We're here for any type of support. How they say people don't listen, we're here to listen. So, and because you guys are here to listen to us, I guess. So, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I think that's a saying.
Let's just scratch each other all over the place.
I don't know. I was homeschooled again. Anyways, I'm just gonna pick on that probably the whole time we're doing this.
Don't pick on yourself for being homeschooled.
I know. It's just a joke. It's just a running joke. But anyways,
I was homeschooled for like a year.
yeah.
You know what happened?
You went to school.
Well, eventually. But do you know why?
Why?
Because my parents could not handle me at home all day.
No shit. And Mike's crazy. Get him out of here.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, guys.
Exactly. All right, guys. Oh yeah. Hold on. Follow me. I'm important. I'm an important person. Please follow me. Just kidding. I'm begging now. On
VIP.
Facebook, it's Michael RK, and on Instagram, it is at m.r.k.thebarber.
Yes.
And I'm also on Twitter, but fuck Twitter. So whatever.
Yeah. I guess I'll be the one running the Twitter.
Just run the Twitter, Dave.
Okay.
I'll run. I'll
Yeah.
run around. I'll just run.
Yeah, we'll just run.
It's my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna
And
run.
same thing with me. Follow me everywhere. D_WIRHOWSKI. Twitter, Instagram, all that. You come shoot me a follow. And like we said, come shoot the. Don't shoot anybody, but
Just shoot the shit with us on Twitter.
yeah, exactly. Shoot the shit with us. Send us some questions. We want to answer them. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know how we're doing. Also, shit, I forgot to mention this last episode too. One of the biggest things for us is if you guys can leave us a 5-star review on the iTunes store, on the Apple Podcast app. Leave us a 5-star review. Let us know how we're doing. Rate us. Hope you guys enjoy the show. That's it for today. For this week, we'll catch you guys next week for episode 3.
Ciao.